Hello, everybody. Welcome and welcome back. Okay, today we're gonna react to why men are walking away from dating. This is a video from your wingman. Cool name. Let's have a woman's perspective. And I wanted to ask, are guys actually tapping out of dating in general relationships? We're gonna react live. If you want to jump in, of course, I will add the link as well. So this is gonna be in the first in the chat. Punk. Done. Oh, actually, want to join me? Let's put the nice version of it because you guys get it. It's fine. Let's swap straight to it. Nah, I'm too big. Let's make it the other way around. Think StreamYard just updated some stuff. Okay, cool. Made myself small. This is a lovely lady here. It's quite an old video. Old. It's 4 months, but yeah, I don't expect that much to have changed in the dating world. And let's see what's going on. And of course, jump in if you want to share your stories or chat about what we're gonna see here. And it's just like 30 minutes, so maybe we're gonna have, if we have more energy, we can watch some TikToks, some videos on TikTok as well, right? Oh wait, before I forget, let me just like her video because she's doing hard work there, and everyone deserves a like, doesn't it? Let's see what she says.
Of your comments over the years. I know there are
Let's go from the beginning.
After reading tens of thousands of your comments over the years, I know there are a multitude of reasons why even the most desirable men are walking away from dating. It can be summed up with the juice ain't worth the squeeze. If you're a man, let me know which ones resonate. And if you're a woman who wants to attract and keep a good man, you may want to pay attention and make some personal adjustments to make sure your juice is worth it. If you're new to my channel, I help men decode modern women so
that sounded actually quite good. I like that one.
They can find, attract, and keep their keeper, or simply have better relationships with women if they prefer to stay single. Welcome to Just the Tip. All right, let's do this. Jake will be our fictional man, ready to go MGTOW. 1. Unrealistic expectations. If you watch any of the Red Pill channels, you'll probably have seen a panel of high-maintenance, low-value women listing off their must-haves: 6 feet tall, six-pack abs, and a minimum of a 6-figure income or a trust fund, your typical Chad. Now, the truth is, those women are selected for their clickbaitable audacity. Just like men perhaps secretly desire the perfect woman, a perfect 10 who's an angel in public and an OnlyFans in the bedroom, men can be happy with a decent woman who isn't perfect, but who makes them feel good overall. However, though most women can be happy without a Chad, they have been brainwashed by both men and other women to think they should want them. And
wait, we're part of the problem as well. We brainwashed them? Oh, okay. But yeah, honestly, I think I'm okay with just a decent woman at the moment. I'm not with enough with the OnlyFans.
And at the slightest sign of lack, they look for excuses to dismiss a good man who might actually be the perfect fit for them. Key point: while some women are setting up OnlyFans accounts, most women aren't pushing the angel OF ideal. There's a reason. More on that in a minute. Example: Jake went on several dates where he felt that the woman he had met had a long requirements checklist. One date ended rather abruptly when he mentioned he didn't have a 6-figure salary yet. Many men feel pressured by unrealistic expectations, leading to feelings of inadequacy and frustration. Unfortunately, some men have unknowingly encouraged women's expectations by constantly saying that's what we all want. If you say something loud enough and long enough, people start to believe it. Women
Okay.
instinctively know this. That is why women's body positivity started. Ladies and gentlemen need to stop telling women they want the perfect man and start acknowledging that kindness, loyalty, and reliability, along with shared values, compatible beliefs, and goals, are what we all truly need. 2.
Yeah, I get what you guys really need, but on the other hand, it's not about. I didn't think that it's about men telling them that's what they want. It's mostly what they show us. Oh, I want the diamond ring. Oh, I want the new bag. Oh, I want a 300 quid painting. Oh, why don't we go on holidays? We've haven't been in I don't know how long or whatever. That's what makes us think that they're really for the guy with six figures. And it's okay if you do it when you're a couple and it's like, okay, we can both chip in to do it. But when everything's expected only from the dude, how am I putting this in her head? I'm confused a bit, but we'll work with it. Yeah.
Past negative experiences. A lot of men have had
Oh,
bad
yeah.
experiences with women, whether they missed the red flags that were there, ignored them, or were
That's me.
masterfully manipulated. Past negative experiences can tarnish their outlook on all women.
Oh, thank you for doing the blip because I'm doing so many at the beginning, so at least I feel better now. Past negative experiences, yeah, I screwed up on that one. I'll take the blame on that one, fine.
The unfortunate part is those men often actually don't trust themselves to see the flags or to throw back a throwback when she displays them, because he might believe that's all he can get. Example, after a painful breakup where Jake's girlfriend cheated on him, he found it difficult to trust women again. He decided to take a break from dating and heal to focus on himself. Past negative experiences can leave lasting scars, causing men to step back from dating to avoid further hurt. So,
okay, I'm more into mathematics. It's not necessarily about that. It's when you look at percentages and how many, and here is not only the women, I think men and women cheat shitloads at the moment. I was like, so yeah, it's becoming a bit harder to trust, especially when you say, and you can judge by the character a bit as well, I suppose. But when you check their Instagram page and so on, and you see them how they go out in the clubs.
So ladies need to understand that just like we have psychological self-defense mechanisms to protect ourselves, so do men. Practice gentle understanding. It costs nothing but is a priceless gift. 3, financial burden. Even though there are more women than men in post-ed nowadays, and many are making a lot of money, most women want a
for
man to
them.
make at least as much as they do. However, supply and demand mean those men are in short supply and have plenty of options. Even a good man may not feel like busting his balls on a date to an entitled princess or provide.
We actually checked that yesterday. So from what we checked on Grok, the perfect man, from what ladies are saying, is around 1-2%. So not that many of them, like doing the six figures and being tall and not being close to retirement and not being underage and all of this crap. And I didn't really take into account how many of them are gay as well. So they're looking for like the really small portion of the population. And don't get me wrong with the cheating part. I know plenty of women who seem amazing in their couple, and I don't think, from my knowledge, they never cheated. So it's not like they're a myth. They do exist. You just have to be more selective. And like she said, she's completely right. Get used to figuring out the red flags from the beginning. and the obsession with making easy money and always thinking about doing OnlyFans and all of this crap. Back when I was working in hospitality, I had waitresses that they were bragging that, oh, you know what, I'm working here, but on the other hand, I'm doing OnlyFans and I'm doing that much a month and that much a month. Or I had waitresses, and they were young men, some of them. Not all of them look good looking, just so you know, but it doesn't matter. They were working so they can get breast jobs and lip jobs and all of that crap, just so they can start doing OnlyFans. Like, that was their dream profession. First of all, I think society is kind of going to shit when we're reaching that part, or none of them have a dad to tell them that they're nice, beautiful, and so on. And I do get the fact that, yeah, it pays good apparently, but at some point when the market is oversaturated with ladies doing it in front of a camera, money is gonna kind of flow away.
A lifestyle that reaches beyond his income. Example, Jake noticed he was spending a significant portion of his income on dates and gifts, trying to maintain a lifestyle to impress his dates. He felt financially drained and decided it wasn't sustainable. The financial burden of dating can be overwhelming, leading some men to prioritize financial stability over romantic pursuits, with some fellas choosing to rent instead of buy, or shop abroad, where their money goes further.
Yeah, I know. I saw that trend with like loads of Americans going to like Thailand and things like that, and Mexico. And I would, let's say I would do it, but not because of the financial burden. Maybe I would go for the cultural part. So it's like, probably if you go step away from the Western mentality where women kind of, at the moment as they appear, they want equal rights, but they still want all of the previous perks as well. So going to somewhere more traditional in mentality, okay, I would get that. But just don't go there because it's cheaper. That's not going to change shit. If you have bad habits, you're gonna keep your bad habits no matter where you go, so it doesn't matter.
Ladies must realize wealthy men have plenty of options, even if some of those options are gold diggers. If you have embraced the bounty of breaking the glass ceiling, you may need to adjust your financial expectations of men and consider other high-value traits like financial responsibility. 4, lack of appreciation. Unlike many moons ago, now women can do pretty much everything for themselves or hire someone who can. How many times have we heard a woman say, I don't need no man? Well, I'll tell you, many times, too many. If a man isn't needed, it's difficult to appreciate him. No one thrives in a relationship where they feel they can be easily replaced or discarded. Example, Jake frequently planned thoughtful dates and went out of his way for his dates, but rarely received even a tepid thank you, never mind any kind of reciprocation effort, and he felt rarely appreciated, but instead taken for granted. Feeling unappreciated can be very discouraging. Men, like everyone else, need to feel valued in a relationship. Ladies, you can practice appreciating the men in your lives. Show at least as much appreciation to a
Whoa, that sounds so cringe. You need to practice in order to appreciate the person that... Oh, sometimes I feel like we're living in a shitty show of a shitty version of Black Mirror. So if we need the women in our lives to practice appreciating us, the men in their lives, honestly, something must be going wrong. It's quite sad.
Generous man as you would to your best friend. 5, focus on personal goals. Some men have a lot on their plates and don't want the distraction that can inevitably come from dating and relationships. Whether they're young and want to get ahead in life or are older and licking their wounds trying to rebuild a life, sometimes
That's
the
me.
smartest thing to do is to go solo for a while or maybe even forever.
I'm
Example,
in with you,
Jake
girl.
is a high achiever in everything he does and passionate about his career and personal growth. He found that the immense effort he put into dating often distracted him from his goals. So he decided to focus on his professional and personal development instead. Many men are choosing to prioritize their individual goals and ambitions over dating, finding fulfillment in their careers and hobbies. Ladies must accept that in order to enter a man's life who has a lot on the go, she needs to be an asset, not a liability.
Yo, this woman speaks really fast. First of all, yes. One of my best mates, all he does is work, travel, work, travel. It's like, are you ever going to settle down? And it's like, why? Everywhere I look, everyone is like unhappy in a couple. So why should I do that on myself? He worked himself. He's like trying to grow in the company that he's working in. So it's like, I make enough money to have amazing holidays. And by being single, I can really enjoy the holidays and do exactly what I want to do in the holiday without having to worry. Is like, oh, is she going to feel fine about that? Is she going to want to come surfing with me or whatever his adventure he's going in? And he's literally saying no to any kind of dating. Casual sex, yeah, fine, why not? Anything else, bye-bye, none. And more are kind of going towards that path, which honestly kind of seems fair because, like she said, if women need to practice to appreciate us, if they need to be reminded that they maybe sometimes we should be treated at least close relative to how they treat their actual friends, and not because at the moment it seems like men are there just to be nagged on and to open the wallets, and that's not cool. And I wouldn't blame someone not wanting to be in that situation. I don't want to be in that situation.
Make his life easier by being in it. 6, fear of commitment. There's no shortage of relationship horror stories, many ending with the man losing his shirt, his house, his kids, some kids over there, or even worse. With the
And
divorce
his
rate
pension,
over
and
50% and over 85% of divorces initiated by women, no wonder men fear commitment. Even living together can
85.
be a trap. Example, Jake has seen many of his friends go through messy divorces. The fear of a
Yes.
similar fate made him wary of committing to a serious relationship, so he opted to stay single. The fear of commitment, fueled by observing adverse
Or completely separated and not divorced, just for tax benefits, and scared that, yeah, everything's done. And yeah, it's sad. 85% of divorces, man. Malta. Malta was the place to go. Malta, I think, started allowing quite recently divorce, because before they didn't even have it. So, and even at the beginning, I think there was like a whole process to get the divorce, but they're super religious. So, like I said, if you really want to go abroad and find your happiness, check the culture first, and apparently check the divorce laws.
outcomes in others' relationships can lead men to avoid dating altogether. Women must acknowledge the truth in the stats. Though it can happen, reality shows that few women are losing their homes and paying palimony. Want to be a real keeper? Offer a prenup from the get-go. It can actually protect
Yeah.
both of you. 7, cultural and societal pressures. We live in a world where every culture and society has its own set of expectations about relationships, marriage, and the roles men and women play. These pressures can be overwhelming, particularly for men who are caught between what they want and what they think they should want. Whether it's the pressure to marry by a certain age, or expectations around providing financially, or the stigma of being single, these societal norms can weigh heavily on a man's mind. Some
On this, we were making fun with some friends quite recently. So at the moment in UK, if you're white man, and I don't know, there was something else, straight. Yeah, pretty much. I think a Chihuahua has more rights than you. And I'm only winning on this one because I'm at least I'm disabled, so I get some points. But other than that, Chihuahua is still really me and Chihuahua are like kind of battling for that position.
cultures have even more rigid expectations, like needing to marry within a certain community or following specific traditions that don't align with personal desires. When the pressure to conform feels too heavy, it may simply be easier to step away from dating altogether than to risk failing in the eyes of society or family.
Yeah, true,
Example,
makes sense.
Jake comes from a culture with strict expectations about marriage and relationships. The pressure to conform led him to step back from dating, feeling that he simply couldn't meet his own desires and society's expectations. Cultural and societal pressures can make dating feel like a daunting task, leading some men to simply walk away to avoid conflict and stress. Ladies, if you want to keep him around, let him know you're looking for a relationship based on mutual understanding, not societal approval. If you can, ditch the cultural rule book or at least try to navigate it together. 8. Mental health concerns. This one's big. Stress, anxiety, depression, ADHD, ASD, OCD, PTSD.
So
There
many
are
letters.
a multitude of mental health conditions that can make dating and relationships confusing, overwhelming, and frustrating. Whether it's not being able to read body language, or not be able to make eye contact, or simply requiring more energy than a man has, the effort required for dating can be exhausting, and some men are bowing out. Example,
Wow. I am bowing out. I'm literally out of energy for dating at the moment. And yeah, I'm taking a break.
Jake struggled with anxiety and depression. The added stress of dating exacerbated his mental health issues, so he chose to focus on his well being before re entering the dating scene. Men increasingly recognize the importance of mental well being and may step back from dating to try to focus more on self care. Ladies need to practice gentle compassion with men. It's a tough world out there for them right now. Women have been making great strides forward, while many of our men are falling behind. That is not my kind of equality.
It's not equality. And yeah, stress is there. And unfortunately, especially from, I don't know, my generation or growing up in Eastern Europe, we didn't know that men should have issues. We knew that men is, men do. So now apparently everything is coming back and all of the letters are starting to pop up. But the part with the ADHD, I think they're starting to throw it like candy. It's like, oh, you can't focus. There you go. Grab some letters. Congratulations.
9. Changing relationship dynamics. In much of the developed world, feminism has brought with it a new attitude about relationships. Women who don't want a traditional relationship don't have to have one. They can support themselves and have kids by themselves. Well, this
Yeah,
leaves
good
a
on you,
lot of
girl.
men wondering where they fit into the romantic relationship model, or simply deciding to commit to not committing. Example,
Pretty much.
Jake noticed the shift in how many of the women he dated viewed relationships, many emphasizing casual connections rather than long term commitments. It was difficult for him to find a woman that he was attracted to who had similar values. Changing relationship dynamics with a trend towards casual connections can make it difficult for men who are seeking long term commitment. Ladies who want a long term relationship should be very much more selective of who they have sex with. Promiscuity is not a top must-have for most men looking for love. Sorry, but true.
Yes.
10, desire for independence. Some men and women can't be bothered with the effort required to find, attract, and keep a keeper. It's not only a lot of work just to get one good one, but then there's the ongoing maintenance. Every good
The problem is, man, the maintenance part is what's killing me. It's like it seems like they require more maintenance than an old Russian car. It's like, you know, the ones that they work with everything, like with duct tape and crap to fix it. It's like an old Dacia. I don't know if you ever made. That's not Russian. That's Romanian, but
relationship takes a lot of effort.
way
There's
too
a
much.
saying that men believe the work is over when he gets married or gets into a serious relationship, while women think the work is just beginning. Just like going to the gym is how you maintain a fit body, relationships require ongoing effort. Some people are content on their own without the added work. Example. Jake values his independence and enjoys his solo pursuits. He finds that dating requires just too much effort and often compromises his freedom. He was happy being single and so decided to remain single to maintain his lifestyle. The desire for independence and the freedom to live on one's own terms is powerful, and why some men are walking away from dating. Ladies need to understand that if they want a good relationship, appreciating and rewarding good behavior gets more of it than punishing bad behavior. Never nag.
I hate the nagging. Yeah.
Walking away from dating is a personal choice influenced by many factors, from past experiences to individual goals and mental health. Noisy Trap. It's essential to respect your own desires and understand that everyone's journey is different. It's okay to go the solo path. In fact, you're better off single than sorry. Now, if this video resonated with you,
that resonated really well, that part. Where is it? It's okay to go solo.
Path. In fact, you're better off single than sorry.
You're better off single than sorry. Okay, cool.
Now, if this video resonated with you, please give it a like and consider subscribing. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Please keep your comments respectful, even if passionate. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. Lots of love. God bless.
Okay, God bless. Man, I think more and more of my friends are either becoming single or have chosen to be single for quite a while now. I started understanding why slowly. And I'm not saying that all men are perfect. I'm not saying that all women are bad or something. We all have our problems. But I do understand the freedom part. I do understand that everything is becoming more high maintenance in a way or another, and harder to maintain a relationship, or even more freaking complicated to go in the dating scene. From, I think, the part with asking someone on a date, like face to face, is becoming more and more less complicated and even maybe stressful, because if you had a few beers or something, or you don't know if you're going to be accused of sexual harassment or not. So I don't know if a lot of guys are just saying, screw that shit, I'm not even going to try. And on the other side, a lot of the couples that I know are kind of getting separated, married or not. They're just divorcing, or biggest advice is, from what I heard, and she seems like a really cool lady, the one with, if better single than being sorry. That makes sense. It might make sense for a lot of us, men or women, to be single until we actually sort our shit up, mentally at least. because going from one relationship to another, and I've seen a lot of people doing this part with not allowing them any breathing space, any breathing time from one relation to the other, it might be damaging for you personally and probably for the couple, I suppose, because you carry a lot of baggage. And as I see it, the older we get, I'm not saying that I'm old, but the older we get, people tend to have more and more luggage. We're gonna go through some of the comments that she got, because though I'm curious about those. But let me, because I noticed that it's quite dark in here, so let's, let there be light. Wow, and there was light. Okay, let's see what comments. I hope you enjoyed my video. Yeah, we did. Nice. The biggest thing is entitlement. Women feel they deserve a man who meets the requirements they themselves fail to meet. Yeah, I've been through that. I agree with that. And as I said at the beginning, I'm not assuming that all women are like this. We just have to learn to read the flags faster. Honestly, what's the point of dating and marriage when it's squarely against men in every way possible? It just makes no sense. As I said, this is like becoming a vibe, like a proper vibe. I have a friend who is playing Pokemon, and he's aware as well that if he would start dating, he would have to give up quite a lot of the things that he's doing at the moment, which are really making him happy. And he's like, yeah, he doesn't see why. Plus the financial burdens, and plus the stress, and plus probably he got burned quite a few times. Over 6, okay, tall, 6-pack abs. Amicably divorced. I have cash in the bank, a house, etc. I have zero interest in dating seriously or a long-term relationship. Social media has broken women's brain. Yes. And the comeback to that is not only women's brains. I'm not calling names, but you have shitloads of influencers that are doing the same thing to the guys as well. And I've noticed that in uni with my younger colleagues. They had some like views on women and on dating, and everything was about being a big G, and everyone is going to be a big G, and so all of this shit. I don't think that's good either for men's brains either as well. So, but what I see now with social media in general, and most likely, being honest, probably this is why this channel is in theory never going to work, as I think I'm going towards a more balanced approach. So everything that clicks more right now is in the extremes. You're either extreme left, extreme right, exactly like in politics. Everything wants to go in extremes. That's the only thing that gets clicks. That's the only thing that gets attention. Everyone wants to be a big G. All the lady wants OnlyFans. And here we go. Black Mirror. Bang. If you don't know the show, watch it. It's going to scare the shit out of you, because loads of the things from that series are starting to come true, or they already came true. I'm just saying. I quit adding because of Schrodinger's feminism. A woman is simultaneously a victim and empowered until something happens. Yeah. Not fear of commitment, it's fear of divorce. That's why we have prenups. Being single equals peace, no drama, and you get to keep all of your stuff. It's the same thing for men and women. I'll give you that. It's just like loads of replies. What a deal. I'm sold. Why would I want to look at females' view of the benefits of staying single when I am the man actually living as the man? Surely I would know what my own head and heart know what's right for me. I'm not sure if she was like just because she was giving advice to men and to women, if you noticed. So, okay, 43, single, childless, and debt free. Have no interest in changing things either. I gave up on dating years ago. Man, it's not worth the hustle. I'm so happy I was born in the 80s. Super mega happy. It's like it was super easy back then, or maybe it just felt like that. I don't know. The best thing that I could do is just not open my mouth. Okay, one of my mates ended himself. Oh shit. Okay, one of my mates ended himself after his wife divorced him after she had a fling. I don't know who that is. This was 10 years ago. I clearly remember his ex-wife laughing with other women on how weak he was. What the fudge? He found out his 7-year-old daughter was not his. They were married for 15 years and he had no idea about the early marriage cheating. Okay, some of the things don't really make early 7, so 8 years. Midway, not early. Fine. The daughter, now 17, hates her mother for cheating on her dad. I wish he was alive to hear that. Oh. Honestly, we need to, dads, we need to start being more in our sons' lives, because we're living in an epidemic of single women, single moms, and it's not good. And on the part with, what is it? With the daughter not being his, I think we can check, but I would suppose like the percentage is quite high, especially in America, of men finding out that they're actually not the dads. So let's ask Grok if we can. Let's see. Do we know what percentage of men in America, for example, find out that they're not actually the dad of the child during divorce, after divorce, or during relationship anyway? Quite curious. I'm not sure if Grok has the answer to this, but it's always worth a try, right? Oh, the only problem that I have with Grok is it gives... Okay. Be short and to the point because you lost me. It gives you like a massive story. Shit. So there's no exact stats, but estimates suggest around 1 to 3% of all fathers aren't the biological dad. That's not that bad, actually. In divorce cases with paternity tests, a small suspicious subset, about 30%, find out they're not the father. So we're not going to find out the reality from relationships, because I would suppose that a lot of dads don't even find out. But man, so around 30% of the ones that are going through paternity tests and so on with a small suspicious subset, 30% pretty much find out they're not the dad. So if you think you might not be the dad, if you're suspicious a bit, you have 30% chances of being right, at least 30%. Cool. Yeah, it's better than I expected, so it's not that bad. Imperfect woman rejecting man for failing to be perfect. And there's the other one. It's like, I fell in love with a man. I tried to change the man. After I changed the man, I realized that the man is not the same man that I fell in love with. So I leave the man because he's not the man that I fell in love with. Or making promises, and after years they're like, yeah, but they were like a long time ago. So nothing that I said was should be expected to be kept. Yeah. So yeah, you have different versions. I have seen too many guys that I served with get taken to the cleaners in divorce. This same man had possessions related to their service destroyed out of spite, for fudge's sake. I observed these situations and have seen how women behave on social media. I value my freedom, and I stay away from social media as much as I can. The key is to determine what you value and be mindful of resentment and anger. Yeah. Keep up the good work for the lady. Yeah, she's doing great. Oh, I have an example. I just remembered. There was a young dude. He was in his 20s. In Romania, he started sailing, so he was working on a ship, working like 6 months. 6 months on duty. Sorry, 2 months, 3 months at home, but mostly like 2 months. So 6 months working, 2 months at home, because they kind of needed the money and they wanted to renovate the house and build a future together and hopefully have a kid and family and so on. He did like 2 tours. Not sure if he actually managed to get to the third one. When he came home, the lock was changed. A lock was changed. She was already in another relationship and she already moved on. And fair enough. If you move on, you move on. The only problem is she kind of forgot to tell him. So he was sending money home every month, like most of his paycheck. Yeah. So yeah, that's the problem with people that go on tours, or this guy is a serviceman, so I suppose in the army, so there as well, you have to disappear for long periods of time. Yeah. Better single than sorry. Words to live by. Yeah, pretty much. But there was a context there as well, so let's not get it too extreme. A mixed group of friends were chatting over coffee after one afternoon when one of the women began to complain about the difficulties in dating scene. Both the guys and the girls seemed to agree. However, when she said, "I want to have a husband," I asked, "Do you want to be a wife?" No, she doesn't. Her mood darkened like an oncoming prairie thunderstorm. She became highly argumentative. Of course, because it's like equality, and she was not built for the kitchen, and I'm not even saying that she is, but anyway, I remained cool as I had no issues to grind. Afterwards, one of the men at the table who had been quiet through most of the exchange came over to me and thanked me. He kind of liked her. Okay. I was like, wait, yeah, okay, now it makes sense. At the beginning, I was like, he thanked me. Was it like, why didn't you say something during the thing? But now it kind of makes sense. He kind of liked her and was planning to ask her out on a date. I guess I escaped a bullet on that one. He said, yeah, true, really. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. This is basically what we need. Figuring out the red flags. And I'm not saying that a woman has to be in the kitchen and a man has to be with a hammer in his hands. I know plenty of men that cook much better than women. Like literally piss off women. They cook much, much better. And the best food that I ever had in my life was done by men. I'm just saying. It's about at least sharing responsibilities, not expecting to be a princess and have equal rights in the same time, because that's a bit. It shows me that you need therapy, not a relationship. Helping you decode modern women turns to helping you understand men. You're right. We want peace, not problems. True. That's why most men are going towards gaming. Apparently. Okay, yeah. The problems that I've experienced have been: I'm expected to pay for everything, even if my girlfriend at the time is also well employed. I paid for vacations, dinners, movies, sometimes including her 2 kids. Man, this is a cool dude. Man, you have a good heart. Do you want a friend? No strings attached. No sexual shit either. We just go for pints and that's it. A bro relationship. Good kids, but not the point. Yeah, it's like kids are something separate, but I have problems with the way kids are raised at the moment as well. Also, I was expected to be the handyman, electrician, carpenter, mechanic, skills I don't have. I'm an IT guy. Yeah, your problem is you're not a Romanian, man. In Romania, it doesn't matter if you're in IT or not. You have to be a handyman or everything as well. It goes to with the M in your passport. Lastly, I tried, but nothing I did was ever enough. Oof, I know how that feels. Finally, after 3 years, I had enough. I've dated a little in the intervening years, but nothing serious. I crave a partner, intimacy, and sex. But it shouldn't be at the expense of my peace. The modern woman in his 40s, ooh, yeah, I'm getting there, only look to see what a man can bring to the relationship, but offer little to nothing in return. Sex is something you do a few times a week. Bro, a lot of men would say you're lucky. It's the partnership and the intimacy that most men want, and that's what makes good sex great sex. Headaches, you know? They all have headaches. I know. And they're going through periods, and they're going through depressions, and after a depression comes another depression, and usually you're the one to blame for all of the depressions. Yeah, I'm there. I'm always guilty anyway, so I learned that the hard way. Got it, gave up. I sleep like a baby. My brother, cousin, and uncle have convinced me to not get involved. And they didn't have to say a word. Probably he just went and visited them and saw the interactions in the family. The system stands against men. Never enter into a contract when the other party is rewarded for breach. Yeah, you're going to lose at that point. Definitely. 100%. I sure as hell refuse to buy something others rented. Yeah. Ooh, for the guy with the cost and everything, if you do the math, and he's only, I fully agree with him with really craving for a partner. That makes sense. The sex part, I think at the moment it might be cheaper to go for just buying or renting rather than just going into a relationship. If you do the math, I'm still waiting for robots. Robots are coming. That's when it's gonna be interesting. I think that's why we're having less and less babies in the Western world. I gave up on relationships when 24 hours and 57 minutes before the beginning of my marriage ceremony, I walked away because she had been cheating. It's good you found out before, May. That was like the story with the pumpkin, and at 12 o'clock it was kind of disappearing. It is now just me, 2 cats, my shop, and a simple life. Oof. I just have a problem with the cats because they're really hairy and I sneeze a lot. And they hate you, or they hate me. I was shopping in a supermarket when I went to pay. The cashier was cute, young black girl who was expressing interest in me. I gave her my number and we went to the beach for a date. Ah, that's nice. While getting to know her, I come to find out she has 2 kids. One 3 years, the other 8 months old. Oof. From 2 different men. Yeah. I asked what happened to them, and she said they don't want to be in the kid's life. I was really put off by the whole situation and told her this won't work out. And she couldn't understand why. When I told her why, she said, just because I have kids, that doesn't mean I don't want love. True. But I told her when there's kids in the mix of dating, I learned I'll always come dead last in your priorities. I think that's kind of true even if you're the actual dad of the kids. Or that seems to happen more and more. So another one to add to the list is men don't want to date single mothers, especially if the men have no kids themselves. Not necessarily. You do have dudes that can't have, due to medical reasons, kids of their own. So yeah, why not? I think there was some point like tourism for this kind of stuff. So sorry, it's quite late. It's actually 11:30. So, and I finished work quite late today. No, you have dudes that want to date women with kids. I've known of like friends who did it. The issues that they were complaining about were the fact that kids are the whole priority is like they exist for the kids, and that's an issue. Just because that means that you come dead last, you're decently not important in there. And because we're getting close to 1 hour, I'm gonna read a few more. Or actually, no, I'm gonna read this too, and we're going to some TikToks, and after that, I'm gonna sign off. Last woman I dated said everything was great. She loved me. You are so good to me. Then one morning, I get a text that mentions she wasn't being her true self. Basically lying to me. I'm tired of being used and lied to. We all are. Some women think they're doing you a favor by involving themselves with you. No thanks. Yeah, no one is doing anyone favors, man. Simple, tired of bullshit, the drama, and the manipulative games. I agree. Do like if you agree. Yeah. Let's swap to some tikatokas. And to keep it in the same, not necessarily in the same theme, but I've just searched for single men. Let's see what we get, yeah? Have like another good 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Narcissistic women. And what's happened is
Wait. How do I get from the beginning?
we've created a generation of narcissistic women. And what's happened is the rise of social media and the rise of online dating and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. Every poor choice is glamorized. So if you want to be a sex worker, it's great. If you want to post in bikini pictures online, it's fine. If you want to be with it, every poor choice is glamorized. And every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself. So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. And so what will happen is they are trained to not reflect on themselves because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project. And so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I. And unfortunately, we've got an online market that caters to that wounded woman, that caters to that entitled woman, and caters to that narcissistic woman. And it's so wild to me that so many women talk about narcissism, but the society today is just catering to narcissistic women. If I post a picture online, a bikini picture online, there's nothing my husband can do that could compete with that level of accolade.
Attention,
Impossible.
the compliments,
The
the attention.
Compliments it.
The messaging that you're so sexy and beautiful,
Yeah.
and all these different things from thousands or potentially
Around the
millions of
world,
men
around the world.
who have money and all
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. He can't post online and get the same reaction. And more so,
Wow.
he can't give me the same level of validation. So what's happened is we've created a setup in society that means men have to compete with a level of validation they can't compete with. We've created a generation.
Why do intelligent men stay single?
Because they overthink a lot and they get stuck in their head, because in their jobs and their careers and the businesses, they're rewarded for filtering their communication and for being very logical. And then they transfer the same habit onto the date, which doesn't work very well, because women come to the date because they want to experience emotions. But if you tell stories on a date, the way you communicate with your manager or your peers or your employees in a very logical, stern, and serious fashion, that's not going to create emotions of desire within her. So what we have to do, if we want to find a healthy relationship on eye level, we have to create attraction. And that's done through effective storytelling.
That's another reason I get mad, because I have these kids on our team. They don't want to play baseball. Parents, do not put your kids. In something they don't want to do. Okay. Every year I look at my lineup, I go, Bryson again? They signed this poor bastard up again. I understand, finish what you started, but it, let's torture him another year.
I was muted for I don't know how long, so I was just saying that thank you for enduring with me for this lovely, amazing hour. I will see you tomorrow night for me. At the moment, I can only do these live streams during the evening for me in UK. So we'll see as we go what happens. Feel free, like always, to join in the live, tell me your story, your opinions, or if you rewatch this live stream and you want us to react to some other videos or the topics, it doesn't necessarily have to be about dating and all of this kind of stuff. Drop a comment and we'll make it happen. This whole channel is supposed to be about social, casual chatting, spending some time together, having a coffee or a pint. Yeah, life can be relaxed as well, if you know what I mean. Okay, on that note, I will be